Hi, my name is Rudy, and we're here at LXJS 2014 in Lisbon, and I'm joined now by Jonathan Lips. He's our keynote speaker from day 2. Really good keynote again, followed up by a little bit of music again.
That's right, yeah.
Very entertaining. Second year in a row, I believe.
That's right, yeah. Last one, probably.
No
promises, but I don't know how long I can keep doing this.
You got to just start bringing more instruments. That's the key
yeah.
to keeping people interested. So, Jonathan, you've been around for quite a bit now. You've done a bit in the world of testing, in the open source world, working for Source Labs.
That's right.
And APM as well. Do you want to take us through what you're up to at the moment? What things are exciting you?
Definitely, yeah. So I work at Source Labs. I lead this team called the Ecosystem Integrations team, which I'm really excited about. So Sauce in general, we have the testing cloud for people to run automated, functional JavaScript unit tests, Selenium tests for their web apps or their mobile apps. That's where Appium comes in. Appium is kind of like Selenium. It enables you to write functional tests for your mobile applications, whether they're native apps, hybrid apps, web apps, whatever. So at Sauce, I lead a team that works on Appium, works on our entire open source ecosystem to make sure that all the tools around functional testing, automated testing, connecting with Sauce Labs, APIs and all that are working really well together. Cool.
And how are you finding? What's the uptake on the mobile offering that you guys released a little while ago?
It's really great. Yeah, Appium is totally taking off. I have lists of dozens of really amazing big companies that have adopted it as their mobile automation framework of choice. And at Sauce, we're extremely hopeful that that trend will continue, and that as people get more aware of mobile automation, because it's relatively new, that they'll turn to virtualized solutions like the one that we offer, rather than maintaining huge numbers of VMs on their own, things like that.
And realistically, how many phones do you have somewhere in a data center? I always have this vision of Source Labs, which is thousands of mobile phones.
Well, yeah. So I can't tell you exactly how many we have, but it's probably not as large as you're imagining.
Oh.
We've been mostly focused on emulators and simulators, because those are much cheaper and you can spin up a lot more of them, and they're just as good in a lot of cases for finding bugs in your code.
Yep.
But we are working on building our real device cloud, as well as what we're calling it, and a beta of that should be out anytime.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so how are you finding, so working with, because the mobile OS developers, Google, Apple, Firefox and alike, they tend to be quite secretive about where they're going and kind of try to get the big bang announcements and things. How much is it for you guys to try and, are you caught on the back foot quite often and having to respond quite quickly?
Unfortunately, that's often the case. So right now, for example, something I've been doing the last couple of weeks is trying to wrap my head around iOS 8. So the new Apple iOS is out in beta, and it happens to have broken all of Apple's automation tools. Honestly, I'm not surprised, because that happened last time too, but it means that Appium currently doesn't work for the iOS 8 beta. So I'm filing bugs to Apple and hoping that they kind of fix them before.
And are they quite working with you?
Apple's bug filing process is not very conversational.
Yeah.
So I don't really know whether they're working with me or not.
Cool.
I hope so.
You want to talk us through your talk this morning? It was really good. For anyone who hasn't seen it, the videos are online for anyone who wants to watch it later. But do you want to give people a flavor for what might be there?
Totally, yeah. I mean, I've been a programmer since I was a kid, and a professional programmer for most of my adult life. So I'm very passionate about technology. But I studied philosophy in school, and even got a master's in it, and just was really excited about asking these great questions that philosophy has for us as we live our lives. And so one of my passions in recent years has been thinking about the philosophy of technology, asking the why question about technology, and trying to really figure out what technology is, where it's going, things like that. Cool. So I just wanted to kind of offer these questions to the community in a way that might get people talking about it in a way that they haven't been before. So talked about the difference between things and devices, talked about the quantified self, and some different concerns I have, as well as some encouragements to go about designing technologies that make it better for humans and not more computerized for us.
Awesome. And myself in particular, I'm working in the connected homes type space.
Sure.
for want of a better word, I don't like using it, but the Internet of Things. And as a philosopher, what's your view on the Internet of Things and or your definition of the Internet of Things? Because I've heard about 20 different ones.
Oh, really?
I don't think it really exists as to exactly what anyone believes it to be.
For me, the one I gave this morning, my understanding is that the Internet of Things is the idea that everyday objects can and should be connected to each other to enhance the benefit that they provide for us. Yep. So I think it's not black and white. So I'm not going to stand here and say that, the Internet of Things shouldn't exist or that it should. I think you have to take things on a case-by-case basis. Yep. I think the main question that we need to ask when we're developing and adopting new technologies is not what will this technology give us, but what might it subtly take away if we're not careful.
Absolutely.
And so I think there's some aspects of home automation that might fall into that gray category, and I might want to think more about. But certainly there are aspects that are going to be just very benign and probably very useful as well.
Yep. And this is I mean, the whole IoT conversation starts becoming interesting when you get into privacy and data protection and
that's
who owns the data
area.
and that seems to be where a lot of the gray lines tend to exist. And I mean, is that a concern for you right now in terms of where we're going? And I mean, privacy is one of those things. I think the horse was bolted out of the stable a long time ago. I think it's hard to put him back.
Yeah.
But with the invention of IoT and this connected home space, do you think we're just maybe taking a step too far? I'm tapping into your philosophy here.
Yeah, no. What I would actually say is that the privacy problem, which is a huge problem, is probably something that we'll be able to fix eventually with technology. So we tend to find technological solutions to technological problems. I'm concerned with things that are kind of deeper at the heart. So the kind of concern that I might have about a home automation device is that it might replace an element of dwelling in our homes, which has given us a lot of meaning in our lives. And maybe it was associated with some labor or some toil before, like cooking dinner, for example. Absolutely. Is something which a lot of people in my city don't really do because there's so many great restaurants to go out and eat at. But it's also something that can provide a lot of meaning and significance in life, especially when it's combined with other people that you're preparing and eating with. So a home automation technology that ensured that whenever you walked in the door from work, there was a meal that has been in the oven and has been heated up and is ready for you to eat without any preparation at all, I might have concerns about on that kind of deeper personal social level. Yeah. But the security thing is certainly, a much kind of more prominent, salient concern right now, at the moment. But I imagine that we'll find some technological solution to that problem.
Awesome. And finally, what are your views on LXJS? Have you enjoyed yourself?
Oh man,
do you love the venue?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that I have a favorite conference, or I might not get invited to any other conference, but it's probably my favorite conference. So.
Wicked. Well, we hope to have you back next year, and nice talking to you.
Right,
Thank
thanks a lot, Rudy. Cheers.